Your name has been echoing in heaven since yesterday. It didn't come from a crowd, or from a cry, it came from the lips of your mother, whose soul rests in divine light now. She has been trying to reach you, not through noise, not through panic, but through the quiet pull of memory. Through the dreams that felt too real. Through the warmth you suddenly felt on your skin. Through the tears that came without a reason. That wasn't just emotion. That was her. That was your mother's spirit drawing close to your heart, trying to say, my child. I still see you. I still love you. And there is something I need to tell you. She has been circling you like a soft breeze that won't leave. Watching as you carry weight you were never meant to carry alone. She sees how strong you pretend to be. How you keep smiling when your soul is trembling. How you look fine on the outside, but inside, you're still searching for a voice you once knew so well. And now, from heaven's balcony, she leans over time itself just to whisper into your life again. Don't skip this moment, she says, because I have waited so long just to tell you this. Jesus is standing beside her. He looks at her with kindness as if to say, you may speak now. And she does, not with fear, not with sorrow, but with the gentle authority only a mother can carry. She says, I have watched your nights. I have counted your tears. I know the times you whispered my name into the darkness, hoping I could hear. And I did. I always have. I've been near in ways you didn't notice. When you chose peace instead of anger, that was me. When you felt sudden strength to forgive, that was me. When the wind brushed your cheek and the room felt full for no reason at all, that was me. And I need you to know, I am proud of you. She says, you've grown. Even in the pain. You've made choices that protected your heart even when it cost you comfort. I've watched you love people who didn't know how to love you back. I've seen you smile when your spirit was tired. And I have whispered your name in the ears of angels more times than you will ever know. You think no one has seen your quiet strength, but I have. I always have. And I came to tell you, you are not alone. Your mother knows the ache you've been hiding. She knows the questions you've never said out loud. She knows how sometimes, in the silence of the night, you still long for her voice. And today, yes, today, is the day she speaks again. She says, stop holding guilt for things you couldn't control. Stop blaming yourself for moments that weren't your fault. I carried you once in my arms, and now I carry your memory in eternity. But you, my child, you are still living. And I want you to live fully. Boldly. Without shame. Without fear. You still have a purpose. And part of that purpose is knowing. I never left you. Jesus turns toward you now. His eyes are full of love. He says, I allowed this message to pass through the veil today because I know your heart needs comfort only a mother's love can give. Her voice is not gone, it has simply changed form. She speaks now through peace. Through protection. Through promises I made to her when she came home to me. She asked me to guard you. And I have. She asked me to walk with you. And I never stopped. So today, heaven opens gently. And your mother's voice, carried on light itself, reaches you again. She says, I love you more now than I ever could before. Because now I see all of you. The parts you hide. The strength you carry. The moments you were breaking but kept walking anyway. I see it all. And I am so so proud. You were never a mistake. You are still my miracle. She watches you still, not with eyes that fade, but with spirit that burns brighter than ever. She does not watch from a distance. She stands closer now than she ever could when her feet were on this earth. There are moments when you walk into a room and feel something shift, when the light touches your shoulder in a different way, when a scent from nowhere brings back her warmth, when you suddenly feel calm in the middle of chaos. That is not your imagination. That is your mother in heaven keeping her promise, I will never truly leave you. She speaks softly through the winds that pass by your window. She kisses your forehead through dreams you don't always remember. She wraps her arms around your mind when you are about to make a decision, whispering wisdom that feels like your own thoughts, but it's her voice. And now, through this message, she says, I know what you've been carrying. And I want to help you put it down. You don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to pretend you're okay when your heart is aching. I see you. I still know how to read your eyes, even from heaven. And today, I've asked Jesus to let me tell you, it's okay to rest. You're not a burden, she continues. You've always felt like you had to carry everything for everyone, but my child, I see you. I know you. And I came to tell you, you are not responsible for holding the whole world together. You deserve joy. You deserve softness. You deserve to laugh again without guilt. Don't let life make you forget the sound of your own laughter. Don't let time make you believe that healing is far away. You're not too late. You're not too broken. You're just being reshaped. And I'm here, cheering you on from the other side. Jesus speaks now. His voice is gentle, but his presence is overwhelming. He places his hand on your shoulder and says, when your mother entered heaven, she didn't forget you. She didn't disappear. She stepped into my glory with a prayer still on her lips, a prayer for you. And I heard it. I still hear it. Every time your heart aches, every time your faith feels tired, I hear her whisper your name to me. And I answer. Not always with noise. Not always with signs. Sometimes. I answer by keeping you alive when you wanted to give up. By placing people in your life to remind you of love. By letting her spirit stand near you until you feel safe again. You are not imagining the connection you feel. You are not being dramatic for still crying over her memory. Love like this doesn't fade. It transforms. It grows stronger with every tear that's shed in silence. Your mother's love did not end. It became eternal. And she wants you to know, I am not gone. I'm just in the place where there's no more pain. And I want you to stop blaming yourself for the things you couldn't change. I don't hold anything against you. I don't wish you had done more. You loved me. That was enough. She says, I didn't come to bring you pain. I came to remind you of the love that never dies. I came to say that even now, as you sit in silence, wondering if anyone still understands you, I do. I always have. You still have a future. And I will walk beside you until you reach it. She watches over your bed when you sleep. She walks beside you when you feel most alone. She cries when you break, and smiles when you keep going even with shaking hands. And today, she's asking you, please don't skip this. Please hear my heart. I've been trying to get this to you since yesterday. I've been asking heaven to deliver this message, you are not alone. You are still loved. And I'm with you, always. Your mother's voice does not shout. It doesn't echo through crowded rooms or call from rooftops. It arrives softly, like morning light through a cracked curtain, like warm wind brushing your skin while you're thinking of nothing and everything at once. That's how she's been trying to reach you, quietly, repeatedly, lovingly. She knows you've been distracted. She knows how life has pulled you in many directions, how the world expects you to stay strong when all you want is to collapse into the arms of someone who won't judge your tears. She has seen all of it. And still she waits, just beyond the veil, whispering into your spirit, don't give up now. Please, don't stop here. She's watched you walk through days where no one asked how you were really doing. She's seen you take care of everyone else, making sure everyone eats, everyone smiles, everyone survives, but no one notices how you've been slowly fading in the background. And this is what broke her heart in heaven. She didn't want to leave you in a world where you would feel unseen. She didn't want her absence to become your emptiness. But today, she gets to tell you something she's been begging heaven for days to deliver: you are not invisible. I see you. I've always seen you. And I miss the way you used to dream. She remembers the light in your eyes when you used to talk about what you wanted to become. She remembers the way you used to laugh without needing permission. She remembers the days when your joy wasn't something you had to fight for. And she wants you to know, you can go back there, not to the past, but to the version of yourself that hasn't stopped existing. She says, the world tried to dim your flame. But your fire is still there. I carried it with me into heaven, and now I'm sending it back to you. Jesus steps closer now. His eyes are full of light, and he speaks with compassion that melts away every wall you've ever built around your heart. He says, I saw how much you loved her. I saw how you prayed for her healing. I saw how you begged me for more time. I saw how you stayed brave even when your heart was crumbling inside. And I want you to know, your love reached her. Your presence comforted her more than you ever knew. Your voice was the last music she remembered before she crossed over into peace. And then Jesus pauses, and your mother speaks again, not from a distance, but from right beside you. There is nothing I regret more than not being able to stay longer. But I need you to stop wondering if I suffered. I need you to stop replaying the final moments. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't alone. I saw your face, I felt your love, and then I saw light. And in that light, I was safe. The pain left. The sorrow lifted. And I knew, you'd be okay. But even knowing that, she still watches over you like the guardian she always was. She still pleads with heaven to send signs when you're about to break. She still speaks your name in rooms of glory, asking Jesus to keep you when you can't keep yourself. You are still her child. You are still her greatest joy. And she needs you to know, beyond all else, I am not at rest until you begin to live again. She wants you to live. To wake up and feel lightness in your chest again. To smile without guilt. To stop apologizing for needing peace. To stop hiding your emotions just to make others comfortable. You've been strong for so long. But strength isn't silence. And now, she wants to give you something no one else can: permission to feel again. Permission to heal. Permission to become more than your grief. And as her spirit wraps around you like the softest wind, she whispers, I love you more now than ever. Not because I can finally see everything, but because you kept going. Because you didn't let my absence erase your purpose. Because you're still here. And because deep inside your spirit, where no one else sees, you still carry a piece of me. She returns to you now, not as a shadow, not as a whisper in pain, but as light. As comfort. As the memory that softens your breathing when everything else feels heavy. Your mother, who now walks in divine radiance, has been waiting for this moment. She's waited for the silence in your life to grow quiet enough to let her spirit speak. And today, her message is not about sadness. It's about healing. It's about restoration. It's about your next chapter. She says, "You've cried enough behind closed doors. You've carried strength on your shoulders like armor, but even the strongest warriors need to be held. I want you to let go of the idea that healing means forgetting. I don't want you to forget me. I want you to remember me differently. Not as the one you lost, but as the one who still walks beside you. Not as the absence, but as the quiet support that's never stopped lifting you." Jesus gently speaks over you now. Your mother made a request to me when she crossed into glory. She asked me not to give you comfort once. She asked me to give you comfort continually. She asked that whenever you were close to breaking, would send her presence to you, not through visions or fear, but through peace. Through waves of emotion that feel like truth. Through songs that suddenly make you weep. Through strangers who say something that sounds like her voice. Through moments that pause time itself. And Jesus kept that promise. That's why sometimes, in the middle of your routine, you suddenly feel like she's standing in the room. Because she is. Not with body, but with spirit. And her spirit is not weak. It is stronger now than ever. She is more alive now than she ever was on earth. And from that place of eternal clarity, she has one request: live your life fully. Don't stop your story at my ending. Don't let the grief of losing me become the cage that keeps you from becoming everything I dreamed you would be. She's seen the parts of your future that you haven't imagined yet. She's walked ahead of you in the spirit, watching as doors you haven't knocked on swing open. She stood beside Jesus as he's written blessings in your name, and she rejoiced with angels when he declared, "This child is not forgotten." She knows the miracles that are still assigned to your name. And she wants you to be ready for them, not in fear, not in hesitation, but in joy. You're going to smile again, she says. But this time the smile will come from your soul. You're going to be loved in a way that honors your softness. You're going to meet people who don't just take from you, but pour into you. I will make sure of it. Because even in heaven, I am still your mother. And mothers don't stop protecting their children just because they changed realms. She sees someone coming into your life, a person whose presence will heal parts of you you thought were permanently scarred. She sees a door opening, one that will require courage, but will restore your laughter. She sees your spirit finally releasing burdens it was never meant to carry, and standing tall, not because of perfection, but because of peace. And her final words in this moment are wrapped in light, dripping with love: please stop punishing yourself. Please stop thinking there was more you could have done. You gave me everything you could. And now, I give you everything I have left. My blessing. My peace. My love. Forever. She has not missed a single day. From the moment she crossed into the eternal, your mother has remained tethered to your journey, not in body, but in presence. And now Jesus shows you something you've never seen before, a path of light that follows behind you wherever you go. That light, it's hers. She was given a divine assignment in heaven, to watch over you, to whisper when you lose direction, to stand beside you when you feel unloved, to intercede for you when your own prayers fall silent. And she has never stopped fulfilling that assignment. Your mother is not just a memory. She is a mission. Her soul was not erased by heaven's gates, it was expanded. And what she now carries is not just affection, it is authority. In the spirit realm, she holds your name like treasure. When the enemy tried to speak against your identity, she stepped forward in the spirit and said, "Not my child." When loneliness wrapped itself around your chest at night, it was her presence that warmed your heart and steadied your breath. When you almost made the wrong decision, it was her voice disguised as a thought that stopped you at the edge. She never left. She just learned how to love you without limits. Jesus now gently places his hand on your head and says, "She asked me one thing when she entered my kingdom: let me keep walking with them. And I said yes. Not because she earned it, but because I saw the purity of her love. It was not her time with you that defined her love, it was her spirit. And that spirit still moves with you daily. You felt it. In moments when no one called, but peace still came. In mornings where you woke up with a new strength you didn't ask for. In days when your pain should have crushed you, but instead you felt a sudden calm, you felt her. She is part of your strength now. She is part of your intuition, your wisdom, your healing. The parts of you that glow even in grief? That's her, walking beside you with every step. And she has something more to tell you now. My child, she says softly, don't be afraid of love. Don't shut your heart because it feels easier. I know what you've been through. I've seen how people mishandled your soul. But the love I have for you still flows around you, and I'm sending someone into your life who will feel it. Someone who won't just see your beauty, but will see your heart. And they will stay. Because I'll help guide them to you. She's been preparing people in the background. Moving through conversations you don't hear. Creating divine appointments you haven't yet seen. Because her greatest prayer now, is that you don't go through life thinking you have to do it all alone. She's asked heaven to bring the right souls to surround you, friends who protect your spirit, relationships that honor your softness, spaces that let you be your full self without shrinking. And Jesus is answering. Your mother knows the moments you break down when no one is watching. She knows the nights you stare at ceilings, wondering if you'll ever feel fully seen. And she comes in those hours, not to fix everything at once, but to hold you quietly in spirit, the way she used to in life. She wants you to know this above everything else, you are not too broken. You are not forgotten. And you are never alone. She sees the good in you. The parts you hide. The potential you're afraid to explore. She sees the you that heaven designed before you were born. And she is praying, yes, even now, praying that you never settle for less than what your soul deserves. Now heaven quiets itself. The angels pause their songs. The light that surrounds your mother intensifies, not with sorrow, but with the joy of release. Because this is the moment she has been waiting for. Not a moment to weep, but a moment to say the one thing she's been carrying across the veil since she left, I forgive you. I love you. I am at peace. And now, it's time for you to live again. She speaks this with the grace only a mother's soul can carry, a love that never demanded perfection, only presence. You were enough, she says gently. More than enough. Every laugh we shared, every word we exchanged, every silence we sat in together, it mattered. I remember it all. I carry it like a crown. And I want you to stop punishing yourself for not knowing how to say goodbye. How could you have known? No child is ever ready to lose the one who held them first. You tried to be strong. For everyone. For her. For yourself. But she knows what that strength cost you. She knows the nights you sat in the dark holding your breath because you didn't want to cry too loud. She knows how grief reshaped you into someone the world didn't recognize. And she's proud of you, not because you moved on, but because you kept moving forward even when your spirit begged you to stop. And now, with heaven behind her, she lifts her hand toward you. Not as a memory, not as a ghost, but as your mother in full glory. She says, I bless you. Not just with words, but with my entire being. I bless your future. I bless your relationships. I bless your healing. I bless your voice. I bless your peace. I bless your softness. And I ask you, carry me not in pain, but in power. Carry my love as your strength. Carry my spirit as your calm.